be brief.
Mary, as I said before, stand here ready hard by in the brew house, and when I suddenly call you, come forth without any pause. Take this basket, carry it on your shoulders, and trudge with it in all haste to Datchet Mead. There, empty it in the muddy ditch closest by the Thames side. You will do it? I had told them, o'er and o'er again, they lack no direction. Be gone, and come when you are called. Percival, Robin, Jack. How now, what news with you?
My master, Sir John, is coming your back door, Mistress Ford, and requests your company.
Oh, you little jackalins, are you being true to us?
I'll be sworn. My master knows not of your being here. He hath threatened to put us into everlasting liberty if we tell you of it, for he swears he'll turn us away.
Oh, how art good, boy. I will go hide me, so go tell my master I am alone.
Remember, use your cues. We'll use this unwholesome humidity, this gross watery pumpion. We'll teach him to know turtles from bays.
Have I yet caught thee, my heavenly jewel? Why, now let me die, for I have lived long enough.
Oh, sweet Sir John.
Mistress Ford, I cannot cog, I cannot pray to Mistress Ford. Now I shall sin my wish. I would thy husband were dead.
Sir!
I'll say it before the best Lord. I would make thee my lady.
I, your lady, Sir John. Alas, I shall be a pitiful lady.
Let the court of France show me such another. I see how thine eye would emulate the diamond. What made me love thee? Let that persuade thee there's something extraordinary in thee. Come, I cannot say thou art this and that, like many of these lisping hawthorn buds, but I love thee, none but thee, and thou deservest it.
Do not betray me, sir. I fear you love Mistress Page.
Oh, thou mightst as well say I love to walk by the counter gate, which is as hateful to me as the reek of a lime kiln.
Well, heaven knows how I love thee, and you shall one day find it.
Keep that in mind. I'll deserve it.
Ah, Mistress Ford. Ah, Mistress Ford. Mistress Page is coming at your back door, sweating and blowing and looking wildly, and would need to speak with you presently.
She shall not see me. I will ensconce me behind the arras.
Pray you do so. She's a very tattling woman. How now? Why, good Mistress Page, what's the matter? Oh, Mistress Ford, what have you done? You're shamed, you're overthrown, you're undone forever. Why, alas, what do you mean? Oh, well a day, Mistress Ford. Having such an honest man to your husband to give him such cause of suspicion. What cause of suspicion? What cause of suspicion out upon thee? How am I mistooken you? Why, alas, what's wrong? Your husband is coming hither, woman. With all the officers in Windsor to search for a gentleman that he says is here now in the house by your consent. You are undone. 'Tis not so, I hope. Call upon your senses, defend your reputation, or bid farewell to your good life forever. What shall I do, my dear friend? There is a gentleman, and I fear not for mine own shame so much as his peril. Oh, for shame! Your husband is here at hand. Bethink you of some conveyance. In the house you cannot hide him. Oh, how you have deceived me. Oh, look! Here is a basket. If he be of any reasonable stature, he will creep in here and throw foul linen upon him as if he were going to bucking. Or is it whiting time? Send it by your 2 men and take it to the laundress in Datchet Mead. Oh, he's too big to go in there. What shall I do?
Let me see it. Let me see it. Oh, let me see it. I'll in. Follow your friend's counsel. I'll in.
Oh, what, Sir John Falstaff? Are these your letters, knights?
Oh, quickly! Throw his clothes upon him, quickly! Oh, look at him tremble!
Here, take this to the laundress and fetch me. Quickly, quickly.
Pray you. If I suspect without cause, why make sport of me? Let me be your jest, for I deserve it.
How now? Whither you bear this?
Here. Here be my keys. Ascend my chambers. Search, seek, find out. I'll warn no one kennel the fox.
Good Master Ford, be contented. You wrong yourself too much.
You'll see sport of it anon.
Oh, this is very fantastical humors and jealousies. You do yourself much wrong, Master Ford.
I must bear it.
If there be any putty in the house, or in the chambers, or in the coffers, or in the presses, heaven forgive my sins at the day of judgment.
By God, no right to. There is nobody's.
Fine, Master Ford. Are you not ashamed? What spirit, what devil has suggested this imagination? I will not hire your distemper of this kind for the wealth of Windsor Castle.
'Tis my fault, Master Page. I suffer for it.
You suffer for a bad conscience. Your wife is as honest a woman as I would desire among 5,500 too.
By God, I see 'tis an honest woman.
Well, come. I will have to let known to you I have done this. Come, wife. Come, Mistress Page. Pray you, pardon me.
Let's go in, gentlemen, but trust me, Wilmot. I do invite you tomorrow to my house for breakfast. Afterwards we'll go a-birding. I have a fine hawk for the bush. Shall it be so?
Anything.
If there is one, I shall make two in the company.
If there be one or two, I shall making it there.
Go on, Master Page.
I pray you now remembrance tomorrow the lousy nay of my house.
It is good, by God, with all my heart.
Is there not but a double excellency in all this? I know not what pleases me better, that my husband is deceived or Sir John. That which hath made them drunk hath made me bold. What hath quenched them hath given me fire. Hark! Peace. It was the owl that shrieked. He is about it. The doors are open, and the surfeited grooms do mock their charge with snores. I have drugged their possets ready, that death and nature do contend about them, whether they live or die.
Who's there? What hope?
Alack, I am afraid they have awaked, and 'tis not done. 'Tis the attempt and not the deed that confounds us. Hark! I laid their daggers ready. He could not miss them. He not resembled my father. As he slept, I had done it. My husband?
I have done the deed. Didst thou not hear a noise?
I heard the owl scream and the crickets cry. Did not you speak?
When?
Now?
As I descended.
I,
Hark! Who lies in the second chamber?
Donald Bain.
This is a sorry sight.
Foolish thought to say a sorry sight.
There's one did laugh and sleep, and one cried murder. That they did wake each other, I stood and heard them, but they did say their prayers and addressed them again to sleep.
There are two lodged together.
One cried, God bless us, and amen the other, as they had seen me with these hangman's hands, listening their fear. I could not say amen when they did say God bless us.
Consider it not so deeply.
But wherefore could I not pronounce amen? I had most need of blessing, and amen stuck in my throat.
These deeds must not be thought after these ways, so it will make us mad.
Methought I heard a voice cry, sleep no more. Macbeth does murder sleep, the innocent sleep, sleep that knits up the raveled sleeve of care, balm of heart and minds, chief nourisher in life's course, great nature's second meal.
What do you mean?
Still, I cried, sleep no more, to all the house. Glamis hath murdered sleep, and therefore Cawdor shall sleep no more, Macbeth shall sleep no more.
My worthy thane, you do unbend your noble strength to think so brain-sickly of these things. Why did you bring the daggers from the place? They must lie there. Go carry them and smear the sleepy grooms with blood.
I'll go no more. I'm afraid to think what I have done. Look on't again, I dare not.
Infirm of purpose, give me the daggers. The sleeping and the dead are but as pictures. 'Tis the eye of childhood that fears a painted devil. If he do bleed, I'll gild the faces of the grooms with all, for it must seem their guilt.
What is that knocking? How is't with me when every noise appalls me? What hands are here? They pluck out mine eyes. Will all great Neptune's ocean wash this blood clean from my hands? No. This my hand will rather the multitudinous seas, in incarnadine making the green one red.
My hands are of your color, but I shame to wear a heart so white. I hear a knocking. At the south entry, retire we to our chambers. A little water clears us of this deed. So easy is it then? Hark, more knocking. Get on your nightgown, lest occasion call us to be watchers. Be not lost so poorly in your thoughts.
To know my deed, 'twere best not to know myself. Wake, Duncan, with thy knocking, I would thou couldst.
How? Traitor! The fires lowest in hell fold in the people, but call me their traitor, thou Indris tribune. I have served well for Rome, yet let them pronounce the steep Tarpeian death, vagabond exile, reign, and pent to linger. But a grain a day I would not buy their mercy for the price of one fair word, nor check my courage for what they can give. To have it was saying, good morrow. You calming cries of curse, whose breath I hate as reek of the rotten fens, whose love I prize, that of dead carcasses of unburied men that do corrupt my air, I banish you! And here remain with your uncertainty. Your enemies, with the nodding of their plumes, do fan you into despair, yet have the power still to banish your defenders, till at length your ignorance, which finds not till it feels reservation for yourselves. Still your own enemies deliver you, at most abated captives, to some nation that won you without blows. Despising, for you the city, thus I turn my back. There is a world elsewhere, and the beast with many heads does butt me away. I shall be loved where I am lacked.
Master Fang, have you entered the action? Master Snare, we must arrest Sir John Falstaff, for he hath stabbed me in mine own home. Take heed of him, that most beastly. In good faith, he cares not what mischief he does. If his weapon be out, he will flame like any devil. I am undone by his going. I pray ye, he is an infinitive thing upon my score. Comes continually to Pikewater, saving your manhoods to buy a saddle. Master Fang, hold him sure. Good Master Snare, let him not escape. Let him be brought into his answer. 100 mark is a long one for a poor, lone woman to bear. And I have borne and borne and borne, and have been fubbed off and fubbed off and fubbed off. From this day to that day, insomuch that it is a shameful thing to be thought upon, unless a woman should be made into an ass and a beast to carry every knave's wrong. Yonder he comes, Master Fang and Master Snare, do me your offices. Thou bastardly rogue, murderer, murderer! Thou art a honey seed rogue. Thou art a honey seed, a man queller, and a woman queller. Good people, bring a rescue or two. Thou won't thou? I beseech you, stand to me, for I am a poor widow of Eastcheap, and he hath eaten me out of house and home. He hath put all of my substance into that fat belly of his. But I will have some of it out again, or I will ride thee all nights like the mare. Didst thou not swear on a parcel gilt goblet to marry me and make me, my lady, thy wife? And didst thou not kiss me and bid me fetch thee 30 shillings? I hold thee now to thy book oath. Deny it if thou canst. I hope you'll come for supper.
Sweethearts, we shall be rich ere we depart, if fairings come thus plentifully in. A lady walled about with diamonds. Look you what I have from the loving king.
Madam, can nothing else along with that?
Nothing but this. Yes, as much love in rhyme as would be crammed up in a sheet of paper, writ both sides of the leaf, margent and all.
That was the way to make his godhead wax, for he hath been 5,000 years a boy.
But Rosalind, you have a favor too. Who sent it and what is it?
I would you knew, and if my face were but as fair as yours, my favor as great. Be witness this, nay, I have verses too. I think Brown. I were the fairest goddess on the ground. I am compared to 20,000 fairs. Oh, he hath drawn my picture in his letter.
Anything like?
Much in the letters, nothing in the praise.
Beauteous as ink, a good conclusion.
Fair as a text be in a copybook.
But Catherine, what was sent you from fair Dumaine?
Madam, this glove.
Did he not send you twain?
Yes, madam.
And moreover, some thousand verses of the faithful lover, a huge translation of hypocrisy, vilely compiled, profound simplicity.
This letter is too long by half a mile.
I think no less. We are wise girls to mock our lovers so.
They are worse fools to purchase mocking so. That same Barone I'll torture ere I go. How I would make him fawn and beg and seek and wait the seasons and observe the times and spend his prodigal wits in bootless rhymes.
And shape their service wholly to our hests, and make them proud that jests, that they should be our fools, and we their fate.
Prepare, madams, prepare. Arm, wenches, arm. Encounters mounted are against your peace. Love doth approach disguised. Stand in your own defense, or hide your heads like cowards and fly hence.
The gallants shall be tasked. For ladies, we shall everyone be masked, and not a man of them shall have the grace, despite of suit, to see a lady's face. Hold, Rosalind, this favor thou shalt wear, and then the king will court thee for his dear. Hold, take thou this, my sweet, and give me thine, for our loves move contrary, deceived by these removes.
But in your changing, what is your intent?
The effect of my intent is to cross theirs. They do it but in mocking merriment, and mock for mock is my only intent.
But shall we dance if they desire to?
No, to the death we will not move a foot, nor to their pen speech we render no grace, but while 'tis spoke, each turn away her face.
Why, that contempt will kill the speaker's heart, and quite divorce his memory from his part.
Therefore I do it. There is no such sport as sport by sport overthrown. So shall we stay, mocking intended game, and they, well mocked, depart away with shame. Be masked, our maskers come.
Oh! Who hath done this deed? Give me a sword. I'll chop off my hands too, for they have fought for Rome, and all in vain. Thou hast no hands to wipe away thy tears, nor tongue to tell me who hath martyred thee. Thy husband, he is dead, and for his death thy brothers are condemned and dead. Gentle Lavinia, make some sign how I may do thee ease. Or shall we cut away our hands like thine? Or shall we bite our tongues and in dumb shows pass the remainder of our hateful days? Oft you have heard me wish for such an hour, and now I find it. Come, come, Lavinia. Look, thy foes are bound. Sirs, stop their mouths. Let them not speak to me, but let them hear what fearful words I utter. Villains, Chiron and Demetrius. Here stands the spring whom you have stained with mud, this goodly summer with your winter mixed. You killed her husband, and for that vile fault 2 of her brothers were condemned to death. Both her sweet hands, her tongue, and that more dear than hands or tongue, her spotless chastity. Inhuman traitors, you constrained and forced. What would you say if I should let you speak? Villains, for shame you could not beg for grace. Hark, wretches, how I mean to martyr you. These hands yet are left to cut your throats. We'll sat Lavinia tween her stumps to hold the basin that receives your guilty blood. You know your mother means to feast with me. Hark, villains, I will grind your bones to dust, and with your blood in it, I'll make a paste. And of that paste a coffin I shall rear, and make 2 pasties of your shameful heads. And bid that strumpet, your unhallowed dam, like to the earth, swallow her own increase. This is the feast I have bid her to, and this the banquet she shall surfeit on. For worse than Philomel, you used my daughter. And worse than Progny, I will be revenged!
I think Crab, my dog, be the sourest natured dog that lives. My mother weeping, my father wailing, my sister crying, our maid howling, and all of our house in great perplexity. Yet did not this cruel-hearted cur shed one tear. He is a stone, a very pebble stone, and has no more sympathy in him than a dog. A Jew would have wept at my parting. My grandam, having no eyes, look you, wept herself blind at my parting. One that I brought up of a puppy, when 3 or 4 of his blind brothers and sisters went to it. I was sent to deliver him as a present to Mistress Sylvia from my master Proteus, and came no sooner into the dining chamber, but he steps me to her trencher and steals her capon's leg. He thrusts me himself into the company of 3 or 4 gentlemen like dogs, and he had not been there. Bless the mark, a pissing while. Oh, and all the chamber smelt it. Oh. Out with the dog, says one. What cur is that, says another. Whip him out, says the third. Hang him up, says the duke. I, having been acquainted with the smell before, knew it was Crab. So goes me to the fellow that whips the dogs. Friend, quoth I, you mean to whip the dog? Aye, marry do I, quoth he. Well, you do him the more wrong, quoth I. 'Twas I who did the thing you wot of. He makes me no more ado, but whips me out of the chamber. How many masters would do this for their servant?
The air bites shrewdly. It is very cold.
It is a nipping and eager air.
What hour now?
I think it lacks 12.
No, it is struck.
Indeed. I heard it not. Then it draws near the season wherein the spirit held his wont to walk.
A trumpet?
What does this mean, my lord?
The king doth wake tonight and takes his rouse, keeps wassail in the swaggering upspring reels, and as he drains his draughts to Greenwich down, the kettle drum and trumpet thus spray out.
Oh, is it a custom?
More honor than breached in the observance. This heavy-headed rebel east and west makes us traduced and taxed of other nations.
Look, my lord, it comes! Oh, it comes!
Angels and ministers of grace, defend us! Be thou a spirit of health or a goblin damned.
Bring with thee airs from heaven or blast from hell.
Be thy intent wicked or charitable.
Thou comest in such a questionable shape that I will speak to thee. I'll call thee Hamlet, King, Father, Royal Dane. Oh, answer me! Let me not burst in ignorance, but tell why thy canonized bones, hearsed in death, have burst their cerements, why the sepulchre hath cast thee up again, and we, fools of nature, so horribly to shake our disposition with thoughts beyond the reaches of our souls. Say, why is this? Wherefore? What should we do?
It beckons you to go away with it, as if some impartment did desire to you alone.
Look with what courteous action. It waves you to a more removed ground. But do not go.
No, by no means.
It will not speak, then I will follow it.
Do not, my lord.
Why? What should be the fear? I rather set my life on a pin's speed, and as for my soul, what can you do to that, being a thing immortal as itself? It waves me forth again. I'll follow it.
What if it draw you toward the flood, my lord, or to the dreadful summit of a cliff, and there draw you into madness? Think of it.
It waves me still. Go on, I'll follow thee.
Do not go, my lord.
Hold off your hands.
Be ruled, you shall not go.
My fate cries out and makes each petty artery in this body as hardy as a Neiman lion's nerve. Still am I called. Unhand me, gentlemen. By heaven, I'll make a ghost of him that lets me. I say away! Go on. I'll follow thee.
He waxes desperate with imagination.
'Tis not fit thus to obey him.
Have after to what issue will this come?
Something is rotten in the state of Denmark.
Heaven will direct it.
Nay, let's follow.
Jockey of Norfolk, be not too bold, for Dickon thy master is bought and sold. A thing devised by the enemy. Go, gentlemen, every man unto his charge. Let not our babbling dreams affright our souls. Conscience is but a word that cowards use. Remember whom you are to cope withal, a sort of vagabonds, rascals, and runaways whom their o'ercloyed country vomits forth to desperate venture and assured destruction. You, sleeping safe, they bring to you unrest. You, having lands and blessed with beauteous wives, they would restrain the one and disdain the other. And who doth lead them but a paltry fellow, a milksop, one that never in his life felt so much cold than over shoes in snow. Let's whip these stragglers o'er the seas again. Lash hence these overweening rags of France, these famished beggars weary of their lives, but not for dreaming on this fond exploit, for want of means, poor rats, had hanged themselves. If we be conquered, let men conquer us, and not these bastard Bretons whom our fathers have in their own lands beaten, bobbed, and thumped, and in their own record left them their heirs of shame. Shall these enjoy our lands, sleep with our wives, and ravish our daughters? Hark! I hear their drum. Fight, gentlemen of England. Draw, archers, draw your arrows to the head. Ride your proud horses hard, and ride in blood. 1,000 hearts are great within my bosom. Advance our standards, set upon our foes. Our ancient word of courage, fair St. George, inspire us with the spleen of fiery dragons. Upon them! Victory is on our helms.